What's up, space pirates? This is your admiral, the endlessly edgy Dr. Disaster, and I know what you guys are doing today. You're counting down the minutes until tomorrow, when the most hotly anticipated game of the year comes out on Xbox and PlayStation. KreatureKind is ready to dominate, folks.
What the hell are you talking about?
You guys remember last year we talked an awful lot about the game Dustborn, because it was, at least in my opinion, the WOKEST video game of the year. There was some stiff competition. Dragon Age the Veilguard and Concord were pretty high on the list as examples, but Dustborn just went next level with it, being literally a story about activists who formed a band and toured a futuristic world that has been taken over by fascism as they try to fight back against it. This was the kind of ugly game that made people want to practically gouge their own eyes out when they saw it.
What the hell am I looking at?
Well, it has been brought to my attention, and I'd like to give a shout out to Smash JT's Twitter account for pointing this game out, but it has been brought to my attention that we have a spiritual successor for this game, Dustborn, that has slipped under the radar. It's about a group of self-described activists fighting mythical creatures and using the power of empathy and compassion to defeat them. The game is called KreatureKind, and that description is not an exaggeration. That is the actual description. This is a shitlib super fantasy. It's a game so woke that the response to it from gamers is about as predictable as you can imagine.
Get away from me, you freak!
The game has already been released on Steam, and once again, we can see the true power of the modern audience. The feminine energy of this game somehow just wasn't enough to draw people in and get them to play it. As of the time of this recording, there is one person in the entire world playing this game. Billions of humans inhabit this planet, hundreds of millions play video games, and there's only one guy playing this turd, and they maxed out at 5 people a few months ago. The problem is that we can spot the wokeness from frickin' orbit on this thing, and to gamers, this sort of preachy woke shit is avoided like it's super AIDS.
AIDS! Everybody out!
Alright, me hearties, make sure that you hit the like button on this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I've begun uploading some content over onto Rumble as well, so make sure that you follow Dr. Disaster on that site too. And also, give me a follow on X, where my handle is Dr. Disaster 1. I keep a list on there of games lousy with wokeness pinned to my account at all times. This game, KreatureKind, is definitely going on that list, but let's take a look at it. This here is an article from Xbox.com where they talk about this game that's being released tomorrow on the console, and it's also coming out on the PS5. And would you look at that art from the game there? There is nothing masculine about it. Everything absolutely screams woke pandering. There's a wheelchair, some pink and blue hair, and just about every virtue signal that you can think of that is meant to appeal to the modern audience types, but for some reason, nobody bought the game on Steam. If you look at the VG Analytics page for it, you can see that they are estimating the game has sold only 960 copies on Steam, and the most hilarious thing is that the average amount of time played is 0 hours. This means that everyone they suckered into buying this game put it down immediately, because of course they did. I wonder how many of those 960 people got refunds. But let's go back to this article. I want to read to you their description of this game. I had to hear what it was about, so now you have to hear it as well. It says here, KreatureKind, the wholesome card battling adventure where words replace swords, will launch on Xbox on June 27th, 2025. This cozy roguelite deck builder invites players into a hand-drawn world where kindness and compassion might just save magic. In KreatureKind, you will not be swinging swords or casting destructive spells. Instead, you build your decks with compassion-powered cards designed to charm, reason with, and reassure quirky and lovable monsters. The world is packed with colorful cryptids and mythological creatures who are in desperate need of empathy. That's right, folks. All the world's problems can be solved if we just talk about our fifis. No offense to all the ladies out there, but this is the most hyper feminine energy I can possibly imagine. And with all the girl gamers that I hear that are running around now, I'm just shocked that almost nobody bought this game. But continuing on, it says, players step into the role of a group of activists on a mission to conserve mana, a magical energy being frivolously wasted at alarming rates. Your team sets out to inspire change by talking, listening, and showing that empathy can be just as powerful as any weapon. Oh goody, so it sounds like an allegory for climate alarmism. Why wait to run into these maniacs as they block traffic or deface public property in a museum or something? Why wait for that when you can bring them into your own home and spend time engaging with their fanatical worldview? I mean, who doesn't want to pay for the privilege of being propagandized by jackasses suffering from severe cases of main character syndrome? But a bit down in the article, the maker of the game says, inclusion and representation have been at the core of the development from the very beginning. I wanted to create a game where everyone can feel welcome and seen, both in terms of its characters and also in how approachable the gameplay is. If you're new to games, you should be able to pick KreatureKind up and feel empowered to try out different playstyles. If you're a veteran of card games, you will still find unique gameplay to explore, but here's the thing. They're trying to make it sound like everyone is included in this game, but let's just be real here. If you have even a lick of testosterone in your body, you are not included or represented. Even the supposed male characters in this game appear to be about 95% woman. So I think we have a front runner for WOKEST game of the year thus far in 2025, being pretty damned blatant in the sort of worldview that they are trying to promote. You know what's hilarious though, is that this game where they promote non-violence, this is how the woke crowd sees themselves. But the irony is that with all the violent protest that we see these days, I can't imagine a more non-fitting description of these idiots. Unlike how they try to show it in this game, they don't just try to use words to convince people, they use screaming and intimidation and straight up violence. No matter how many times these jackanapes call their actions peaceful protests, it doesn't change the facts of the matter. These are thugs who used to be good at propagandizing when they owned all the wings of media, but now their brand is toxic as hell, which is why nobody bought this game on Steam, and releasing on Xbox and PlayStation will not save them either. But I'm gonna leave it there. Which game do you think is worse, KreatureKind or Dustborn? Drop your thoughts into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.